What's up, Doc Mike? Today's topic: fastest way to check, delay, and control the rising spread of COVID-19 infections at the barangay level nationwide. Our common goal: to control rising COVID-19 infections to help flatten the curve in order to prevent the Philippine healthcare system from being overwhelmed during the pandemic. Warning: if we fail, it would mean thousands of Filipinos needlessly dying soon nationwide. This is our humble and urgent take from the private sector. Amidst the confusion triggered by misinterpretations on the controversial shame campaign statement of Department of Interior and Local Government Undersecretary Martin B. Dino, a positive development unfolded today, and the embattled DILG official found an unexpected ally in a multi-sector environmental rights watchdog. The controversy aroused during a national television interview of the Barangay Affairs Undersecretary earlier. Dino quickly clarified that his suggestions for the controversial shame campaign involves only stubborn quarantine violators, not COVID patients. I received complaints on the hard-headedness and lack of cooperation of those quarantine protocol violators in the barangay, and I proposed a shame campaign against them, Dino revealed. The multi-sector watchdog, in a statement today, appealed to DILG Secretary Eduardo Anyo to take an objective second look at an old but practical idea that can become a possible key to a sustainable and scientific solution on how to immediately slow and control the speedy and upraising spread of COVID-19 infections nationwide, especially in hot zones or high-risk areas. The watchdog is hoping that by adapting this idea, DILG can be pivotal in flattening the curve to prevent our country's healthcare system from being overwhelmed. In today's statement, Clean Air Philippine Movement, Incorporated President Attorney Leo Olarte, MD said, "I appeal to DILG Secretary Eduardo Anyo to keep an open mind and take a second but objective look at a practical and scientific idea that was open timely to public discussions due to the earlier statements made by Undersecretary Dino. Shaming a COVID patient is against the law, and as a medical practitioner and lawyer, please let me assure you that there are no medical doctors that would allow patients to be subjected to shame. However, this practical idea that I am referring to might yet be the missing key to enable our government to control or slow down immediately the drastic rising and spread today of the coronavirus infections, especially in COVID hot zones nationwide. This idea involves the principle of deterrence, or popularly known among doctors as simply prevention. This can happen if we immediately replace the word shame and substitute it with the operant word bandwagon conscience. Secretary Anyo, sir, in order to maximize the effect of the combined strategies involved in this simple idea, all must be done at a barangay level settings and must involve the entire barangay, 24/7, basically targeting potential or would-be violators of government's minimum health standards or protocols, particularly on mandatory wearing of face masks, social distancing, staying at home and quarantine as directed. Among doctors, there is a popular quotation that goes, "An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure." By employing proven scientific deterrent methods to delay or control COVID infections at the barangay level, the effectiveness of our government's military psyops tactics can be multiplied 1,000 times using a person's innate conscience, spirituality, psychosocial/mental environment, and its makeup, as the major basis to effectively deter him from violating the minimum health standards imposed by government inside his barangay. There are proven and available science-based bandwagon human behavioral intervention methodologies to achieve this specific goal with the help of everybody living within that barangay or commune. A good example is neuro-linguistic programming strategies that DILG can choose to use based on our unique Filipino culture. We are suggesting to combine these multifaceted approaches and for government to use everything legally and humanely available to it so it can hit success. Meantime, Presidential spokesman Secretary Harry Roque said that the palace does not favor shame campaigns against COVID-19 patients but is open to the warrantless arrest of quarantine violators as long as the rule of law is respected. Capmi's Dr. Olarte, a practicing lawyer and past president of the Philippine Medical Association, continued saying positive methods to achieve a desired outcome in the field of human behavior change or activity intervention are being employed in psychological, mental, social and even spiritual platforms worldwide, and it has shown great results. History demonstrated that even religion and spiritualism uses a person's conscience to guide him to the path of righteousness. Today, due to the broad advances in science, we now have a proven way to positively influence human behavior and even change it effectively without violating a person's basic rights or humanity. During COVID crisis, employing military scare tactics to involuntarily force our people to stay at home and follow minimum health standard may be limited, short-lived, ineffective and not sustainable. However, This initial military tactics can still be salvaged if it can effectively be linked and supported by a deeper methodology in order for it to fully work and be sustained at the barangay. Ridiculous events were observed in lockdown areas wherein barangay residents initially complied and stayed at home only in the interim period when heavily armed government troops stayed around. Sadly, residents all go out of their houses again once our troops left. Proven multifaceted strategies using science and one's conscience and spirituality and involving everybody, both officials and residents alike in the barangay, in a sustained 24/7 bandwagon-type engagement can surely delay, if not stop, rapid spread of the virus in that same barangay or commune. The barangay units using proven scientific methodologies in behavioral change intervention, and positive psychosocial/spiritual/mental enforcements will be the immediate key to minimize the rapid and rising spread of COVID infections today in our country. It will always start with the barangay, the basic unit of Philippine society. We in the private and scientific sector are willing to help our very own DILG and the entire government of our beloved President Rodrigo Duterte to succeed on this task. Thank you, Secretary Año. Public shame tactics versus bandwagon conscience tactics. Bandwagon conscience tactics and public shame tactics have similar effects. The difference is as follows. 1. Public shame tactics is against the law. This is inhumane and is not socially acceptable. 2. Bandwagon conscience tactics is not against the law. It is humane and socially acceptable. To effectively enforce the minimum health standards of government versus spread of COVID-19, a holistic/multifaceted approach involving one's conscience, psychosocial, mental, spiritual, acceptable public pressure, 24/7 surveillance, military psyops, etc. must be combined using legal and humane ways at the barangay level and must be participated by everybody, both officials and residents, in a patrol-style volunteerism in that specific barangay. It must be a 24/7 sustained operation during the interim period of the public health crisis. Project Reloaded. BBLC 19. A sustained public-private engagement versus COVID-19 at the barangay level. Holistic approach, comprehensive, inclusive, voluntary, humane and legal. 24/7 sustained commitment of all participants during the period of the public health emergency that was declared by PRRD early 2020. Operations based on individual barangay only, with support from both public and private sector resources/assets. Multi-sector MO assigning in each barangay level NGO participants. Free online training seminars, including basic contact tracing for the members of BIRT, will be provided to all stakeholders nationwide via personal desktops, laptops or smart cellular phones. Free online technical support will be provided by national technology enabler called the League of Data Privacy and Cybersecurity Advocates of the Philippines, Incorporated or LEDCAP, www.cyberdataprivacy.org. Free online livelihood seminars via TESDA. Free telemedicine services, and healthcare-related support, provided for by the Joint Philippine Medical Association and Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines Incorporated or PHAPI, and partners, at the project called Doc Philippines or simply DocPH, www.docph.org. This will be a barangay health emergency response team or BIRT project/operation and based on the enabling law that created the BIRT. However, it will supported ideally by the LGU and or DILG. Note, DILG must come in just in case LGU is found impotent to render effective support to BIRT. Nationally monitored and supervised by the Office of DILG Undersecretary for Barangay Affairs, Martin B. Dino. Laterally supported by other national and local government agencies nationwide, OP, DOH, TESDA, DICT, DTI, DEA, DAR, DEPED, DND, CHED, DOLE etc., and DOCCs like PCSO, etc. Simultaneously supported by the private sector, business, industry, health and wellness, academe, transport, manufacturing, religious, caused-oriented, various advocacies, etc.